Problem is that in this scenario, to use your metaphor, the US has the bigger gun. And so China ends up having more to lose from this trade war, doesn't it? You know, it can't sustain the loss of 15% of its export market, i.e. what you export to the US.
Not at all. China is fully prepared to fight to the very end because the world is big enough that the United States is not the totality of the market in the world. So if the United States wants to go in that direction of completely shutting itself out of the China market, be my guest.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which, as I've said, is 15%.
We don't care. We don't care. China has been here for 5,000 years. Most of the time, there was no United States, and we survived. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States. And we expect to survive for another 5,000 years.
This bag, of course you do. For the past more than 30 years, we have been OEM factory for most of the luxury brands around the world. Gucci, Prada, Coach, Louis Vuitton, you name it. But for this, I am not proud because we were only making our wages. The profit margin for the people who are actually making the bags are very low. What I'm really proud of is that first, we have the best quality control. Two, we have the best craftsmanship. You know, Chinese craftsmen are always intelligent and diligent. Three, we have the most complete supply chain. We always get what we want, like zippers, accessories of any kind, any color, and leathers immediately. Now, as the USA and its little European brothers are trying to refuse Chinese goods, don't you think luxury brands are not trying to move their OEM out of China? Yes, they did, but they failed because the OEM factories out of China, they don't have good quality control and they don't have as good craftsmanship. Their workers are either too expensive or too lazy. Three, they don't have any supply chain. They always have trouble getting leather or zippers or any accessories. That is why they failed, and that is why we will always be the best OEM factory for luxury brands. Why don't you just contact us and buy from us? You won't believe the prices we give you.
You know what's wild? The luxury convo flying around TikTok right now. I'm living for it. Because finally, people are catching on to what I've been saying for years. Even if I had billionaire money, I still wouldn't be out here dropping bags on designer goods. And no, it's not because I can't, it's because I know the game. These brands y'all are breaking your backs and budgets for? A lot of them are made in the same overseas factories as the so-called dupes you love to clown. Same leather, aim stitching, aim cheap labor. Just a different logo, and a markup that's insulting. And I'm not bitter, I'm aware. Luxury marketing is elite-level gaslighting. It's not about quality. It's about perception. They sell you a feeling, not a product. So when I see people coming for the yellow app girlies, I laugh. Because we've been in on the secret. We're not buying into hype, we're buying smart. We know value when we see it. It's not about being cheap. It's about not being played.
Say as long as there's a tag saying made in China, the bag can never be luxury. However, in fact, more than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China. But those luxury brands just won't acknowledge that. They take almost finished bags from China factories back to their own countries and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that. That way, the bags will appear at their boutiques as made in Italy or made in France. You know, those sophisticated European countries, which make you feel mysterious, royal, and thus luxury. Now, close your eyes. Let's just do a little, very easy experiment in your head, okay? Imagine that you have Hermes bag and suddenly the label on it changed from made in France into made in China, while everything else like leathers, zippers, and hardware remain the same. Do you suddenly feel that your bag is not as luxury as before? If you do, that means you have been misled and poisoned by the market campaign of those luxury brands for too long. Welcome to the real world. Now you see, those bags are made in China by our intelligent and diligent Chinese artisans. Let's not be poisoned and misled by the market campaign any longer and be a real person. Buy a bag from our factory in China, see the real world for yourself. Birkin bag at Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? Today, I'm going to break it down in front of you, step by step. First thing first, Hermes only use the leathers from the 3 top-level suppliers. One is called Muti from Italy. And the second is Weinheimera from Germany. And the third is Haas from France. One piece of Togo leather, the same leather as this one, will cost 450 USD. And one piece of the leather is only enough to make one Birkin, okay? The thread. And of course, for Hermes Birkin, the thread is also the best top level. It's called Fil au Chinois from France. This is actually the Rolls Royce in thread. For each bag, the cost is 25 USD. And then the hardware. See, this hardware is called 316 hardware. It's also known as the ocean stainless steel because it can withstand the erosion of seawater. It's the best stainless steel. For one piece of bag, the hardware will cost 150 USD. The edge oil. This edge oil is imported from Italy. It's called heat sealed edge oil. For each bag, it will cost 50 USD. The interior lining, it used lambskin imported from France. For each bag, the cost will be 100 USD. And also inside, there is a zipper from Riri brand. And the zipper for one bag is 10 USD. And then the cost of human resource. The French artisans is much more expensive than Chinese artisans. To finish one bag, the human resource cost will be 600 USD. The package, now this is not that expensive, it's 10 USD. So now to sum those up, the total cost will be 1,400 USD for one Birkin out of factory. But why Hermes will charge you 38,000 USD for one bag? That's because more than 90% of the price is paid for its logo. But if you do not care about the logo, you just want the same quality, same material, you can just buy from us. Because for our bags, we use exactly the same material, same leather, same hardware, same edge oil. The only difference is one, we don't have the logo, so we don't have to pay so much amount of money just for that logo. And second, our human resource is much cheaper. This is why this bag from our factory only costs you 1,000 USD, but even better quality and craftsmanship.
I'll tell you 30 luxury brands. Some of their products are made in China. Ralph Lauren, Armani, Nike, Dior, Lululemon, Apple, Michael Kors, Coach, Calvin Klein, Prada, Balmain, Swarovski, Adidas, The North Face, Rimowa, Levi's, Burberry, Versace, Chanel, Cartier, Ferragamo, Timberland, Yves Saint Laurent, Victoria's Secret, Puma, Uniqlo, Disney, Max Mara, Givenchy. The producing cost is only 1/10 of its price. Can you believe it? Follow Helen, your business advisor in China.
You ever sit and wonder what you're actually paying for when you buy a luxury bag? Because let me tell you something that shook me, and low-key confirmed what I've known in my gut for years. That $38,000 Birkin you saw sitting behind glass at Hermes? The one you think is the ultimate symbol of status and success? It costs $1,400 to make. Yup. That's the real production cost, and guess what? Most of it's made in China, in the same factories that have been making bags for Gucci, Prada, Coach, for decades. Now, before you clutch your pearls and start shouting counterfeit, let's talk facts. These OEM factories in China have been the backbone of luxury fashion for over 30 years. Same leather, same craftsmanship, same zippers, hardware, edge oils, threads, literally the same suppliers that luxury houses use. The difference? The workers in these factories are paid wages. Meanwhile, the brands they serve are flipping those bags for tens of thousands of dollars. The factory gets a crumb. The brand gets the cake. And now, as Western countries try to cut China out, what happens? The brands try to move production elsewhere, and fail. Why? Because the quality, consistency, and supply chain efficiency in China is unmatched. This is why I laugh when people act superior about their designer bags, meanwhile turning up their nose at the yellow app girlies. Let me say this loud for the people in the back, the yellow app girlies are not broke. They're not clueless. They're strategic. We're not falling for the branding scam. We've done the research. We know the supply chain. And we know exactly what we're getting, often better quality, from the same source, without the emotional markup. It's not about being cheap, it's about not being scammed. And look, I'm not anti-nice things. I love elegance, I love quality, but I'm not going to finance my whole identity on a label. I'm not going to go into debt, or flex on TikTok, just to prove I belong. Real luxury? It's peace of mind. It's knowing your money is working for you. It's walking into a room and not needing to prove a single thing with your outfit, because your presence already speaks volumes. So if you're saving up 3 paychecks, or worse, using Afterpay for a status bag, pause. Think. Ask yourself, am I buying quality? Or am I just buying into a dream someone sold me? If you want the exact same craftsmanship, go to the source. That same factory is offering you the same bag, minus the markup, minus the logo, minus the gaslighting. And honestly? That kind of financial clarity? That's the real flex.